Now that we have talked about symptoms and the impact of anxiety, let's talk about interventions. What can you do to manage anxiety if you have it, or what can you do to prevent it from becoming a problem in your life? So if you are a person who has mild anxiety, you can tell just the normal anxiety, and you are feeling afraid that it might grow into something else. This is for you as well, because the interventions that we talk about here are going to help you to intervene before things get into a crisis state. Now, if you are already identifying with anxiety disorders that I have highlighted during this process, then it is time for you to take charge and be able to do some of the things that I am going to be offering as we continue with this segment. So let me talk about the physical interventions that you need to make. And when I say physical, it's about your body, because remember, once you are triggered to be anxious, your body feels that there is danger. There is something that is going on that the body is afraid is going to harm you. And so what you want to do is to make sure that you do several things here that can bring your body back to a place of safety and a place of relaxation. So number one, what has happened is that now, because your body is in hyperarousal, it may be because the anxiety has been there for a long time and it has become a disorder. It may be difficult for your brain to come back to normal. So in cases like those, when people have these very serious physical reactions to anxiety, like now ulcers, headaches and migraines, and chronic sleeplessness or insomnia, and the bowel syndrome that you have. Maybe you can't get your GI system to be okay. Those kinds of things. When you get highly anxious, you find yourself diarrheaing a lot, or having other issues, other physical ailments that have no other explanation except psychological, then you do need to see a psychiatrist, because a psychiatrist is going to check your levels of serotonin, which some of these chemicals in your brain. Your brain is not producing the right amount of emotions, or not emotions but chemicals, to normalize you, because now you are dealing with things that happened in the past, and you are unable to, your brain is unable to discriminate that past is no longer happening today. So when you are triggered by some fearful situation, you find your body goes into that hyperarousal that is out of control. You need the help of a doctor, the help of medications, so that you can bring your body back to normal. And once you have brought your body back to normal, then you can be able to talk about the anxiety, the trauma that triggers the anxiety. And talk therapy is not really helpful if you are you have very high anxiety. I was looking for the word triggered. You are very highly triggered, because anytime you talk about what happened, you go into crisis, and so you need medications to do that. I hope that is clear, that it is important for you to see a doctor and be able to do that. Now, a psychologist or a counselor cannot give you a prescription for medication. We are not trained in that. That's why you need a psychiatrist. Also, you can talk to your general medical doctor and tell them your symptoms, and they can also prescribe these medications that can bring down the anxiety, so that your mind can rest and you can be able to talk through the issues that cause the anxiety. Now, the other things that you need to do for your body is to have a good pattern of sleep, a good pattern of rest. And there are different things that you can do. For instance, you can have a better routine at night. Stay away from drinking tea or coffee at night, because that stimulates your brain. So you want to start a process of slowing down, calming down, so that your body can relax and you can be able to go to sleep. You can do other things like taking a bath at night. And that relaxes your body, so that now you are shutting down so that you can go to sleep. The other thing that is very important for sleep hygiene is to make sure that you stay away from electronics at least an hour before you go to sleep. That helps your brain to begin to shut down. And then the other thing that you want to do also for sleep hygiene is to go to bed at the same hour every night, because that helps you, and it helps regulate your body into expecting that we are going to bed at 9. And if you keep that every night, you will find that the body will begin to change the habit of being hyper every night. And then the other thing you want to do is to have proper nutrition. Proper nutrition is very important. Remember, the foods that you put into your body, they affect your moods. So if you eat too much sugar, you have a hike and then you have a drop. And that kind of hike and drop is not going to help your body to stay stable. So make sure that you eat properly. You eat more fruits and vegetables and a balanced diet, so to speak. And then make sure you don't skip meals, unless, of course, you're doing some sort of fasting and you know why you're doing that. But don't stay away from eating food. Your body needs fuel every few hours. So if you keep if your nutrition is not consistent and it's not predictable, your body tends to go into survival mode. So if you don't give it nutrition, it begins to store fat, and then that can create other issues. For some of us women, we create weight around the waist, and that weight around the waist is actually puts us at risk for lifestyle diseases like hypertension and sugar. Now, the other thing that we want to do is to make sure that we do exercise. Physical exercise is very important. Remember, every time adrenaline is released into your body and cortisol is released into your body, that is energy. And that is negative energy. That's why we have tension, we have back pain, we have other things that we struggle with because of storing all this negative energy, that because of staying in hyperarousal so much and feeling like we are in danger, our body keeps going into crisis mode to protect us. And if we don't take time to do physical exercise, running, jogging, stretching, and other things that you can do, riding bikes, going and hiking, and things that be in motion and use up that negative energy, so that you can be able to release the tension from your body, especially doing stretching and even swimming. Swimming is very good because it exercises all your muscles, and it will help you. Remember, one of the impacts that we talked about of anxiety is having muscle tension. And so if you want to reduce that, the intervention there is to do physical exercise, and I have named some of that, and you can look for more ways that you can create a physical exercise as part of your daily routine. Then the other thing that obviously there is a lot of research on this, I have seen, is about sunlight. Sunlight gives us vitamin D. Now you can imagine, when you have a mood disorder, you don't want to go outside. You want to stay indoors. What we don't know is that when we stay indoors and we don't want to go outside into the sun and where there is fresh oxygen, because in the house we are just recycling, the oxygen there. But when you go outside, you have this freshness, and somehow breathing this fresh air, it triggers your brain, and it triggers those hormones that have something to do with your moods. They call those neurotransmitters, and the vitamin D and fresh oxygen are going to trigger feel-good hormones within your body, and it relaxes you, and you are able to feel better. So make sure that when you feel like you don't want to go outside, actually go, because there is there is quite a bit of value in doing that. And then, of course, you want to also find ways to be in the community. That really helps a lot too, because it helps you to relax. Because being out there talking to people and enjoying the socialization also helps to reduce the anxiety, and that it helps you to be relaxed. Something that we call mindfulness, even though that's more mental and psychological, but even physically, when you sit down, some of the things we do in mindfulness is meditation. When you sit down and you meditate, when you stretch and you focus more on the muscles as you stretch each muscle, when you take time to stop and actually be in touch with what's going on within your body, that in itself causes you to relax. And so I want to leave those tips with you. Physically, that's what you can do to reduce the amount of anxiety that is storing up in your body, and also to manage it so that you can be able to live the kind of life that you desire.